Welcome to the lesson. In this video, we will work on the Declaration of Human Rights, especially the human rights of women, the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women. We will discover how gender violence can violate many of the human rights of women, from physical, psychological to social aspects. What are human rights? We all have human rights by the simple fact of existing. Everyone has a duty to respect them in order to create essential conditions for human beings to live together in an environment of freedom, justice, and peace. Some of these inviolable rights are the right to life, freedom of expression and conscience, education, housing, political participation, or access to information. Women human rights. The rights of women and girls are human rights, which cover all aspects of a person's life, such as health, education, political participation, economic well-being, as well as not being the object of violence. Women and girls have the right to fully enjoy their human rights, living free in conditions of equality, being free of all forms of discrimination. All this is essential to achieve peace, security, and sustainable development. Violence against women. The Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women explains that all violence against women is defined as any act of violence based on belonging to the female sex that has or may result in physical, sexual, or psychological damage or suffering for women, as well as threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether they occur in public life or in private life. Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Women are exposed to this violence due to persistent structural discrimination which society and political forces fail to eliminate. Therefore, preventing and confronting women's violence is not an act of punctual solidarity. It is something that has to be continuous. The obligation of this eradication is legal and moral, which requires measures and reforms of a legislative, administrative, and institutional nature. Giving greater relevance to the process of change through education, training people with a certain sensitivity to fight against the violation of human rights, and above all the discrimination and vulnerability suffered by many women around the world just for the fact of being a woman. It has begun to recognize that gender violence constitutes a violation of the right to identity, since it reinforces and reproduces the subordination of women to men, as well as the distortion of human beings. In addition, the right to affect is broken, because violence is the opposite of all manifestations of all kinds. Because through this violence there is no positive resolution of conflicts, violates the right to peace and personal relationships. Many of these women do not feel that they are in a situation of helplessness, which not only comes from the husband and the family, but also from the state, which does not provide good protection for women and society that makes the problem invisible, breaking their situation through the right to protection. Also, due to the domestic subjection suffered by these women, they have more limited participation in public and social events, as well as in organizations, meetings, or groups, which violates their right to social and political participation and the right to freedom of expression. Gender and intersectionality. The objective of intersectionality is to reveal the diverse identities that can exist in a community, exposing the different types of discrimination and disadvantage that are created as a result of the combination of identities. Due to the result of multiple identities, some women are displaced from the community and experience profound discrimination. Due to intersectionality, we can now know how different types of discrimination against women are developed in terms of intersection or overlapping identities. With this process, we can observe how situations of inequality of opportunities and access to rights within a group are manifested. Thanks for watching the lesson. If you want to know more about what community educators say about gender diversity practice in Austria, Portugal, Bulgaria and France, have a look at the national reports at our website www.equalspace.eu.